Hey, I'm Nick, and this is After Hours, which is a series that it's not for everybody, but I feel like for a certain type of person, this might be the thing you're looking for. So my goal for this series is it's a late night type of vibe, hangout kind of vibe, behind the scenes kind of look into what it's like to be a YouTuber, what it's like to be alive at this time. But yeah, this series is just going to be me kind of doing behind the scenes sort of thing. Just gonna kind of be myself. Just gonna chill out. Definitely a second monitor type of video. Definitely a late night type of video. I think my favorite time of day is late at night. I'm definitely more of a night owl. And you know what? I was watching a documentary. It's it was called 100 Gigs by Drake, and it's kind of this sort of look at him and his producers when they were making kind of music. And it was really cool to see these behind the scenes videos of them making these like really huge hits that we all kind of know, and well, music that I'm really into right now. And it's kind of cool to see this like behind the scenes, see them in their sort of like authentic kind of creative mode. And I wanted to do something like that, but for YouTube. I feel like for me, as an up and coming kind of YouTuber, I think I'm trying to find that balance of authenticity as well as being kind of like a showman in a way, kind of an actor. Because I feel like YouTube nowadays is very, very well produced, and there's a lot of production quality in videos. But I think nowadays what people crave more than anything is authenticity. I think that's why a lot of people feel nostalgia for the older videos on YouTube, like the early videos when people really were just being themselves and being authentic. And I think you know, it's really easy to come on here and say, oh, old YouTube was better, old music was better. But I think it's also important to kind of realize, like, hey, this is YouTube, these are videos. You know, the videos that do well today are not going to be the same videos that do well 10 years from now. I guess what I'm trying to say is times change. And I think it's good to be kind of in the loop about what people are wanting to watch. But I really wanted this series to be something kind of special. Like I said in the beginning, it's not for everybody, and I think that's okay. One of the things I've been really learning about the longer I make videos is that, you know, if you try to make videos for everybody, it's not going to do well. Like, I was really trying to kind of chase trends instead of making something a trend, or instead of putting my own twist on a trend, just kind of like copying other people's style. And you know what? I think some advice I can give you if you're trying to come on YouTube and make videos is that it's good to look at trends to get ideas, but you don't want to copy other people. You want to be yourself as much as you can be. Figure out what makes you special, what makes you an artist. I do kind of view YouTube videos as an art form in a way. Like I always I like to think about it like as if I really am in a studio kind of recording an album or making a song. I don't know why. I'm not really even a musician, but I always looked at it that way. And you know, you gotta find your sound, you gotta find your style, you gotta find your swagger. Shit, babe, that's swagger. But I am curious to kind of see how this sort of series is received. I almost feel like it's kind of a video diary in a way. I'm just kind of looking around my world here because I do want to kind of figure out what I want to build. I haven't really thought about that yet. But I just hopped out of the shower. I was working out a little bit earlier. And I always feel like for me, when I'm most creative is like sort of in these late night type of vibes. Like right now it is 1:12 in the morning, and I always feel like my creativity is like at its highest at this time of the night. Mainly because like I'm my most relaxed, I'm my most like kind of mellow, and I just like right after a workout, right after a shower is like honestly the best time to record. Let's kind of walk over here. But I feel like if you really want to be somebody who's successful on YouTube, I think it's really important to kind of be authentic and be yourself. I know that's such, it's good advice and it's bad advice, because what does it even mean to be yourself? I think as people we can choose who we want to be, and I kind of want to just leave it at that, because I think the more you think about it, the more confusing it can kind of get. But for me, this series is kind of just like a place for me to kind of be myself. I don't really have to put on a show. I can just kind of talk about what I want to talk about. And it's, like I said, it's not for everybody. It's for somebody who wants that kind of authentic, laid back sort of video. Late night type of vibe. Damn, that's gorgeous. But yeah, I think I guess I can talk about YouTube, because that's something I'm really passionate about. And I will say this, like, ever since I was a kid, I was always really interested in YouTube. I was always interested in making videos, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And now that like my channel is slowly gaining that audience, I really feel like I'm that like emerging kind of person, that new kid on the scene, sort of like figuring out my way, figuring out what type of style I am, what type of, you know, sound I am, what genre I am. I really do feel that way. Like, I mean, I do want to just say this, by the end of this year, I'm a big believer that you have to like put out your kind of energy and you kind of get it back. So for me, like this year, my goal really is to build this channel to, this sounds so ridiculous, but I genuinely want to build this channel to like 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. I feel like it's such a massive goal, but at the same time, I've seen it done before. And I feel like for me, setting big goals is a way for me to kind of force action. I mean, it's one thing to say like, oh, my goal is to have 1 million subscribers, but it's another thing to say my goal is to have 1 million subscribers and then actually put a time frame on it, and to actually act as if your life kind of depends on you hitting that goal. And I don't know, I really just wanted to say that, because even if I think setting massive goals is important, because even if you don't hit your goal, if you really try and you really put in your effort, I feel like best case scenario you will hit your goal, or worst case scenario you'll end up just short of your goal. And I'll just say this, I would be more than happy with 500,000 subscribers, but I'm gonna really try and like work on it until I can hit that. I'm gonna work on it as if I am going for 1 million, you know. So I think something a lot of people get wrong is, you know, it can be whenever we have these like really ambitious kind of dreams or ideas, it can kind of feel like we need a plan to do it. And that was a problem I had for a long time. But I find that you don't really need a plan. You just need a goal. You just need a goal that you want to hit. I think I kind of want to just build a little pathway through the woods here. Minecraft for me has always been this kind of laid back kind of game. I'm definitely in my 2-week phase right now. Definitely in my 2-week kind of phase right now. So even though I play a lot of Minecraft on the channel, I think like just kind of sitting back and just playing the game how I normally would play it in this sort of context late at night when I'm trying to relax. I don't know, it's a vibe for me. And I'm really happy that you get to hang out with me for a little bit. So I think I just want to make a little pathway through the woods here. Nothing too crazy. Lots of creepers, but that's kind of nice. 'Cause I need gunpowder. So for me, I always like having music in the backgrounds. Right now I'm listening to Drake's Views album. And when this was coming out, I was in high school, going through high school stuff. And it's kind of, I like listening to music when I'm playing Minecraft, but obviously I can't have that playing while making videos, so I kind of have it on a separate audio channel. But I'm curious to hear, like, what type of music do you guys listen to? Like, for me, I kind of listen to music based on the experience I'm in. So, like, for these late night type of vibes, I like more chilled, laid back type of thing. But maybe if I'm at the gym or I'm really trying to get amped up, maybe I'll listen to more like pop punk or rock music. It just kind of depends. It just depends how I'm feeling. But for me, I love this time of day, just late at night, chilling. There's not really a whole lot going on. I think for me, I really want to start putting more effort into videos. I think having this series, this kind of after hours sort of vibe, it's nice for me because I can just be myself. And I think as a I think that's something a lot of YouTubers are kind of missing, this sort of more authentic, intimate kind of feel, something kind of special, something kind of different. YouTube is definitely more polished, more of a polished platform. And maybe that's why people really enjoy live streams, because it's live, it's one take. And eventually I do want to get into live streams. I feel like I can do really well with that. I've had a lot of people ask me if I will do them, and I most certainly will start them at some point. I think I just have to kind of work on my setup and make sure it's the right move for me. But YouTube being a more kind of polished platform, I feel like there's a lot of room for me in this kind of niche of being a more authentic, laid back type of show. Just because I feel like there's not a lot of that. It's difficult to be yourself. I feel like it's really easy to look at creators on YouTube and to see this kind of larger than life sort of effect, you know, really polished, and it can be inspiring, but at the same time I feel like I think at the heart of it, people really want something that's different. They want something that they can you know, life is all about experience. I feel like people want adventure in life. And for me, as weird as it sounds, I feel like being authentic is something different enough that it will provide that kind of feel of something new. So yeah, I think I kind of want the pathway to slide down through here. Kind of a windy sort of deal. But yeah, I think obviously with a goal as high as trying to hit 1 million subscribers in a year, I think it's possible. And I'm really, I don't know, right now I'm just so amped up. I feel like I really can do it. And I'm really curious and excited to sort of see where things go. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but ever since I started making YouTube videos, I genuinely feel like I'm in such a good place right now. I feel like things are going good for me. And I just feel like my life has been so much better ever since I started taking videos more seriously and really putting time into them. Maybe because I've just wanted to do it for so long, and now I have that outlet. But I genuinely want everybody watching this to sort of experience that feel of being able to do something that's important to you and that you love. When they say you should love what you do, I feel like I relate to that on such a deep level, because I'm fortunate enough to work like a regular job that like pays relatively well considering how easy it is. And for me, like, the money that it pays is so irrelevant. Like, it doesn't even motivate me. What motivates me is like I get such a sense of satisfaction from making a video, and regardless of how that video performs, I feel like if I made a video that I liked and that I put effort into and I really tried, the sense of satisfaction I get from that is so rewarding in its own thing. And I think it's actually kind of crazy to think that like YouTube videos really can make a living. But it's, for me, it's first and foremost, it's just the sense of satisfaction of recording a video, putting it out there, and hearing from people like, hey, this video was really fun to listen to. I think that to me is the most rewarding part about videos. I got a comment the other day from someone asking, I think she was asking like how to start YouTube. And it's a simple question. I think it's an obvious question, but it's a hard answer because there's so much to really think about, and there's so many different ways people kind of perceive things. But for me, if you're wanting to start YouTube, I think first and foremost, you have to love making videos. I think I'm definitely a very passionate person. I feel very deeply about things. And I have to love it. I have to love it. If you want to motivate me to do something, I have to love it. And I feel like a lot of people deep down feel the same way. So that's my main thing, is you have to love making videos. You have to get a sense of satisfaction from making videos that nothing else can really do. And I feel like that is what will motivate you to make something even when you don't feel like it. Because there does come a point when you're making money from YouTube and it is your job, and people are depending on you to get that video out. Maybe they had a rough day at work or school, and they're looking for something to listen to or watch. So you kind of have this obligation now. You have fans waiting for you to upload a video. And having that sense of satisfaction is just an extra motivation layer, I feel like. This pathway is kind of ending up a little bit straighter than I thought it would, but that's fine. We're going to have to kind of graduate this a little bit better. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because for the longest time, I remember... I feel like once you get past that 1,000 subscriber mark, things start picking up and they go fast. Like, it took me 4 years to gain 1,000 subscribers. Well, it took me 4 years to gain 430 subscribers, and I remember this because it was New Year's Eve when I hit 430 subscribers, and I was really excited about that. And then it only took a week from then to hit 1,000, and then it only took 2 weeks to hit 2,000, and then it's just been going up ever since. I feel like hitting that first 1,000 is like the hardest part. It's getting that kind of ball rolling. I think that's the hardest part in anything. Starting is the hardest part in anything. All right, so I'm starting to fill the inventory up. I'm thinking, let's kind of get a chest out here somewhere. I think I'm gonna throw it down over here. Let's kind of come out here. Okay. Let's kind of make a little checkpoint sort of deal out here. Nice. nice. We can just throw all this in here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Actually, let me throw the saplings in there and the rest of this can actually go out. Okay. Very nice. So, I'm thinking we can do just a little pathway running through here. Kind of lead down to the river here. And I want to do maybe like a little lake house, little type of vibe. But yeah, I feel like for me, I'm just now getting to the point where I'm kind of comfortable being authentic or being myself on video. And that's something that can only happen over time. I feel like the best YouTubers, you have to go back and watch some of their oldest videos and sort of see how they started. I think Mr. Beast is a great example of this. He obviously started off just like I was, playing Minecraft, and he just had his mindset that like YouTube is what he wanted to do. And you know, you can see now he's like the biggest person on the platform. But it took him a long time. It didn't happen overnight. I feel like we can see a lot of nowadays I feel like you can grow really fast on YouTube if you know what you're doing. And sometimes that can be kind of discouraging, especially if you're someone who's been doing it for a while and you feel like you've really been trying. It can be discouraging to see someone post one video and then they get a couple thousand subscribers from that one video. But I think, you know, you don't really know their story. This might not be their first channel. And I think it's also important not to sort of feel any negativity if you do see someone growing faster than you, because I feel like sort of how you feel about other people is sort of what life is going to give you back. So if you feel jealous that somebody blew up really fast, I think that life is going to be like, oh, he doesn't like the idea of, you know, kind of coming up overnight, so that's not going to happen for him. That's kind of how I feel. I definitely feel like we attract kind of the energy that we put out. That's why I think that's kind of why I really wanted to like put my goal out there. Like I literally am going to try and I'm literally going to build this channel into something that is something significant. I really do want to build this channel into something that is like important to me, but also brings joy to other people. I think there is a value in entertainment. You know, I think it's ideally my goal for this channel is to really be that show that people kind of have a comfort for and just kind of love and is special to them. Maybe, you know, we all have those videos that we love to watch when we're like, we just got some takeout food and we're headed home and we want something to sit down on the couch and watch and listen to. Kind of maybe something to listen to in the background, like a second monitor type of vibe. And I feel so thankful because I feel like you guys are the most supportive people. Every time I read a comment, it genuinely makes my day. And I'm definitely very lucky in multiple ways. And I'm trying to like use that luck to my advantage. Okay, so what I really want to do is I want to start making kind of maybe pillars for these lights. So let's kind of come over here. And well, let's hop in free cam and see what we kind of see. So there's a cave over here. Let's kind of head over here. But I feel very fortunate because you guys are so supportive and sweet for me, and I really want to make something special for you and something that you really enjoy and is worth your time. That's why I always, if my videos aren't really well edited, that's why I like to point it out at the beginning. That way people don't have this kind of false expectation that they're getting something very high quality or very high production value. I'm a big believer in like kind of setting expectations and delivering on that expectation. I think that's something that YouTube really rewards. Like one of my best videos, and I feel like a major contributor to my like early sort of stages of success is I made a video called advice for like long-term Minecraft worlds, and in that video I started off the video with probably my best advice, which was to, you know, take breaks from your Minecraft world, and that's how you'll kind of keep them going longer. And that video, I did it in one take. I didn't edit it hardly, but what I did was I mentioned in the video right after I gave that first little tidbit was like, this video's not the most well edited thing. And I think setting that expectation early is what kind of kept people watching the video. And I think I'm very blessed because my natural voice, my natural sort of cadence and tone is pretty appealing to people, I've heard. I've got a lot of feedback that people do find my natural kind of tone of voice very nice to listen to, and that is something I want to lean more into, kind of figure out what exactly about my voice people like. But I'm definitely lucky in that sense. But you know, I think another thing that I was really lucky about is I don't like to use the word luck, but I feel like that's the only way to really describe some of the way I've experienced some of these things. But my friend Zane from work, shout out to Zane, he if it wasn't for what he said or he told me, I don't think I would have ever really made that video that kind of helped my channel grow initially. A video that I did was called It's That Time of Year Again, and it was a video about Skyrim, because Skyrim is a game just like Minecraft for me that I love to come back to and just play because it's this kind of comfort for me. And in that video I was just kind of yapping like I normally do, kind of just talking, vibing it out. And he watched it and he was like, oh dude, I wish that video was longer. And it was like a 20-minute video, and I was like, you know, what do you mean, like more like let things play out more, like more dead space, like less talking kind of thing? And he's like, no, I just I liked listening to your voice, you have a nice voice. And I was like, really? So I feel like I want to give credit where credit's due and just thank him, because if he had not told me that, I don't think I would have ever made longer videos. And I think life only makes sense if you look at it backwards. I think it's really hard to kind of connect the dots looking forward. For me, I've always been a very ambitious person, and I've always had these like really big dreams so big they keep me up at night kind of thing. And I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've always wanted to take it seriously and make it kind of my thing. And had I not started working at this supermarket, who knows, maybe I would have never figured out that people just like listening to my voice. So I don't know, I feel like it's things like that. You kind of have to, whatever situation you're in, I feel like you have to learn from it. Like I think it's literally impossible to kind of make life go the way you want it. You have to let it, I mean, I think what I'm trying to say is you can make life do what you want it to do, but you have to do it the way it wants you to do it. So, you know, I think everybody out there might have a dream of like getting rich quick or like winning the lottery type of thing. But I feel like, you know, it's not as special if you just come into money rather than if you have to like work for it and earn it and, you know, whatever. Obviously, with that being said, I wouldn't mind winning the lottery, but at the same time, like for me, finding this passion and something I love to do, like this is worth more to me than all the money in the world. And I genuinely mean that. I feel like if I was the type of person that did come into a large sum of money overnight that I didn't earn, it would just feel really weird. And I'd probably feel very lost, and it would take me some time to kind of come to terms with that. I don't know what I'm saying. Baby, you got me yapping. But yeah, I'm just so excited to see where this channel goes, because I have like such a deep self-confidence, like a really strong inner confidence. And that's something I had to develop over time. I was not born very confident. Maybe I was born confident and the world kind of makes you question everything. But I feel like a big contributor to why I feel so confident, or have a deep sort of sense of confidence. And what I mean by confidence, by the way, is like the feeling that I can do anything that I really set my mind to, and like I genuinely believe it. So when I say like, oh, my goal is to have this channel be one of those staple kind of YouTube channels that people look at and it's like, oh yeah, that's like, oh, that's Nick, yeah, that's his channel. You know, on that level of like a Jacksepticeye or like a PewDiePie, like one of those channels that just is established and everyone kind of knows, and not everyone likes them, but like that's their thing. Like that's sort of where I see myself as far as this channel. Actually, let me mention Dashy Games there too. Dashy Games is someone I really look up to. I love his just natural kind of style, that type of vibe. But as far as confidence go, I feel like confidence for me is something I had to earn, and I would not have it any other way. I think it's I'm kind of thankful I had to earn confidence, because had I not, I don't think I would have appreciated it as much. Let's kind of grab some of these. I want to make some of these cobblestone walls. I love using these as sort of like little lanterns or little lamp posts. All right, let's kind of come in here and sort of, you know what? Maybe I want to do the layout first. But not a lot of people know this, but I used to be pretty chubby, like 210-ish pounds, and I wasn't very happy with that. And one day I just decided to make like a change. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna like really commit to a diet, really commit to working out. And over time, I feel like, you know, I did eventually obviously lose that weight, but I think more importantly, I gained a very deep confidence that it's a confidence that can only be earned, and it's a confidence that doesn't go away very easily. But I feel like confidence is a skill more than it is anything else. I feel like anybody you look at who's very confident, they had to earn it in some way. And that's how I feel. Shoot, tell them how you feel, babe. I think, like, I don't know. I love these type of videos where I can just sort of, where people can just kind of be themselves and say what they want to say. I think there's something special about that. And it kind of gives you guys perspective as well, because I sort of do want to have this dual kind of duality to the channel. Like I want to have these more like intimate, kind of private conversation type videos, like for like a certain type of person. And then I want to have these more like well-produced kind of videos that are more like mass appealing and entertaining. I think that's just something I like. And I think that's something that not a lot of YouTubers really experiment with. And that's kind of what inspired me to sort of do this. Just something new, something kind of different, and something that I was interested in doing. Alright, so let's kind of do, maybe I should do a dirt pathway. That's not something I normally do. Just kind of cut it out like this. Normally all my pathways have a lot of cobblestone and things mixed in them. I'll just dig it out like this. Kind of lead it out this way just a little bit. I want to make like a really nice, long, windy kind of pathway through the woods here. So I do have a couple of mods installed for this. And I'll leave my entire mod list in the description. I think one thing I want to do, this is Minecraft talk now, hold on a second, is I want to start building more just kind of sort of how I would build when I was younger. I think a lot of people really crave that kind of early sort of childhood nostalgic kind of feel in video games, and I think that's what, you know, when people kind of post about, oh, the video games aren't the same anymore, I feel like people are just really looking for that like nostalgic feel that they had when they were a kid and when everything was kind of new and everything was an adventure. So I really want to get myself back to that kind of like serendipity, because I feel like it is serendipitous to feel that way. It's very like, I don't know, I think kids really do view the world way differently than adults do. And I think it has to do with like, when you're a kid, you're a lot more creative and you're a lot more free to be creative. Whereas when you're an adult, it's more like a numbers thing. And I think if you can like blend yourself between the two things, like if you can still have that like kid-like kind of wonder and imagination and still function as an adult, still be like able to put numbers down, still be able to do that kind of thing, I think that's a good place to be. I think being like too extreme, like on one end or the other, I think that's not a good place to be. Finding that balance, I feel like, is a great spot. I don't know. That's a random little theory that I have. I will definitely start experimenting with different games on this channel. I feel like as much as I like Minecraft, I really want to, my goal for the channel is to be more of like a personality type of thing. It's nice to have that like, sometimes people really like to have a niche, and maybe their niche is a video game, like a specific one. But for me, I like change. I like adapting and experiencing new things. I love adventure. So eventually I want to pivot my content to be more of a personality type of thing. And I think once I start live streaming, that'll really take off. It's just a matter of getting my kind of situation right. We can do that, I feel like. But it's just, I don't know, it's so much fun for me to do these videos because it's very therapeutic. And the sense of accomplishment I get when I finish a video, even if like the video's not even that good, it's unmatched. All right, so let's kind of texture out these pathways just a tiny bit. I feel like this is how you make things pop. You just kind of have to add these little patches that are just kind of out of the way and don't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, here we go. I'm starting to get into it. For me, it takes me a little while before I get into like a flow with Minecraft. I'm not the type of person that can just start playing and like go off. I gotta kind of work into it. You gotta play to your strengths. Figure out what you're good at. Like, see this looks very straight and kind of like uniform. So I feel like adding these little like kind of outcuts and outcoves kind of really softens things up and makes it look a little bit more natural. Here we go. Well, that's looking a lot better. this spot's just gonna kind of have to be that way. You know, it's kind of weird. Even in the early stages of YouTube, like, I feel like I've only just started, but there is things I do kind of worry about. Like, sometimes I really do kind of stress about, like, and this is such a bad habit. I'm only pointing this out because it's something I'm gonna get rid of. But I do really, I feel like I spend way too much time looking at my video analytics. It's like, it's so unhelpful. Like, who cares how well a video is doing? It's like, I want to just, obviously I'm so ambitious and there's these goals that I want to hit, but at the same time, I need to just learn to enjoy the journey, because eventually I will get to where I want to go. So why not enjoy the ride there? That's kind of my mindset behind that, but I'm getting better at it. Like, I'm just sort of being patient with myself and enjoying it for what it is. I do feel kind of bad because right now I'm experimenting with so many different type of formats, and it's like, I feel like you guys are on a roller coaster with me, but I really do appreciate you taking time to hang out with me. And every comment I get that like leaves me feedback is something I really appreciate. Obviously there's some feedback that I don't use, but from the perspective of someone that makes videos, it's always helpful to hear from people, like, what do people like? And because it can be kind of hard to look at our video as work and be like, you know, we have our own opinions about a video, but it's nice to hear someone who's watching the video, like a fresh kind of perspective. So I'm kind of looking at this little cove right here, and I really like this. This looks fantastic. I think this beehive is empty. I was gonna kind of silk touch that, but it's gonna kind of come over here and light this cove up. I think something about this cove I think hits kind of crazy. Do maybe a little boathouse or something, and I don't know. I love when the land just kind of does this. For me, a lot of people they enjoy my sort of building style in Minecraft, but really my building style is just decoration. I feel like I really just kind of look at how the land is sort of doing its thing, and I like to follow that. Just give it a more natural kind of look. For me, like, Minecraft is that game that I can just come to and like really just turn my mind off and just build and like listen to my favorite music, listen to a podcast, whatever it may be. Just kind of depends. I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks as well, but now I'm starting to get more into like actually reading again. I just kind of read like 10 pages a day. That's sort of my thing. That's like a random little habit that I've picked up. Is like, for me, it can be kind of daunting to like read an entire book, especially if it's like a bigger book. For me, it's really easy to kind of think about it in the way like, oh, I only have to read like 10 pages, and it just helps me kind of compartmentalize things and break it down. Okay. So I kind of like having some of these random little lanterns, but we can kind of get rid of some of these. So I have this mod called Mini HUD, and it kind of helps me see like what part of the areas are safe or what areas are not. And as long as these numbers right here aren't 0, then no mobs can spawn there. So you can kind of see right over there, the yellow kind of outline. That's going to be areas that mobs can spawn. And I'm not too concerned if they can spawn on the outer edges there. My main thing is I don't want them to spawn like right on the pathway. Like, I want this pathway to be relatively safe. So you can kind of see here, this spot needs one. So let's kind of come over here. I want to do a lantern here, I feel like. Yeah, I think that's a nice, they're spread out like nice and evenly here. Let's kind of put a lantern over here as well, just to give ourselves like a little bit more space. We'll definitely need one right here. I'm definitely, the longer I've played Minecraft, the more kind of nuances I kind of pick up. So for me, I'm a big fan of kind of playing with light levels and you know, I like to give my builds a lot of room. So you can kind of see there's like this nice little dark area here. It makes the lights feel a lot more significant to me when there is this kind of space that isn't filled with something. Like a lantern right here would be kind of nice. But I don't want the pathway to be totally safe, because I feel like it just makes it more exciting when things can kind of pop out of the woods at you. That's just, that's kind of my thing. All right, so here we go. We do actually have some stone in here, but I really want to do cobblestone. I think that'd be kind of nice. So let's grab our fortune pickaxe. I have a bad habit of mining everything with my my silk touch axe, so I have like way more stone than cobblestone. Late game problems. All right, we want to get a nice good amount of cobblestone. I want to start building, like I was saying earlier, I want to start building things a little bit more like simple and kind of emulate that old style of building. And to really, I feel like what really makes those old buildings so special is because they're so like unorthodox and kind of, you know, very unique. And so I really want to build that kind of style and bring that into my world, because I feel like for the most part my builds are semi-realistic, semi-fantasy kind of thing in this world. But I definitely want to get, you know, kind of change things up a little bit. I think with these long-term worlds, you really do have to you have to give yourself like different little, you have to give yourself freedom to do kind of different things and to not be afraid of experimenting. I've always just sort of had this it's really easy for me to kind of look at something and just kind of see like, okay, what needs to go here? I feel like I've always had like kind of a knack for just design and kind of the arts of things. But at the same time, there's things that I can't really do, or I don't have a natural sort of ability for. Like, for example, I have so many friends that are they're amazing artists. They know how to draw, or they know how to play an instrument, and they're really good at it, and it's something that they love, and that's something that I don't know how to do. So I feel like it's important, if you're out there, to find that thing that it comes kind of easy to you and see where it takes you. Same with kind of jokes and things. When I'm in like a jokey kind of mood, I feel like my jokes can really hit. But it's not something I can force. It's something that I have to be like in a relaxed kind of mood for. I feel like if you have to force things too much, it can kind of ruin things. I feel like everything is so nuanced. I feel like what's kind of cool, sort of letting you guys in on this like behind the scenes kind of vibe, is like you can really see like not everybody has everything figured out. I think it's just social media gives us this really bad kind of perception that everybody knows what they're doing all the time and everyone's super polished. But like sometimes I just don't have anything to say. Sometimes I just kind of want to vibe and want to play, you know, games and things. And that's fine too. I think it's you really got to be patient with yourself. It can be easy to compare yourself to people, but you have to realize you can only compare yourself to people that are like at your same level. Like if you're just starting off something, you can't, if you're just starting to learn to play guitar, you can't compare yourself to someone who's been playing guitar for like 20 years. But you can look at that and be like, hey, that's the kind of level I can get to. That's sort of what I feel like when I watch like other YouTubers who've been doing it longer. I sort of feel like, hey, you know what? They've been doing it a lot longer than I have. And they, you know, they kind of develop this style, which is what I'm trying to do right now. I think I'm kind of happy with where this pathway is at now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of more laid back, authentic kind of video. If it's something that you guys are interested in, I'll definitely be posting more of it. So have a good night.